Yes, yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. I know you want to hear about transfers. Everyone's getting a bit tetchy about transfers. Ooh, it's the 18th of July. Hit the panic button. We haven't signed anybody yet, apart from obviously 16 keepers, a 49-year-old, and Lewis Kelly. But what I'm saying is, don't panic. Settle down. We've got some big news on transfers that could be happening, want to be happening. Eddie wants it in the next 10 days or so. He wants 2 signings in by the end of this month, so we're going to get into who those might be in just a moment. What I also can't believe is the player we might not be selling, someone who's been linked with a move away from Newcastle United for a while now, all this window, even back in January. You'll know who it is from the thumbnail. We'll talk about him and what Eddie has had to say and if he is staying or going. And as always, drop in the comments below your thoughts. But first, what also I can't believe is this moment that I'm proud to announce, right? I'm proud to announce this, and you can come along to the night and join me if you fancy it. The ticket link will be in the description. I'm hosting an evening with Toon legend Shay Given. Honestly, I can't believe it. I'm buzzing for it. I'll be the one hosting and interviewing Shay Given at the Coach and Horses in Wide Open on Thursday the 8th of August. Unreal, man, right? I just want to put that out there first of all and say thank you to everyone that watches the channel, follows the channel, subscribes to us. It means the world, and that's how getting these opportunities in several years of hard work, right? Because I'll put this out there as well. 7 years ago, nearly, October 2017, when I first started this channel, me and Billy, the OG of the channel, shout out Billy, went to an event at Shearer's Bar, was 9 Bar back then, I know, awful, with Shay Given to watch him. Paid for the tickets just to be there in the crowd, watch Shay Given talk to Mick Lowe's at the time, I think it was, who was hosting it. Shay was back in Newcastle, he had a new book out, so I thought, oh, I've got to go meet him. I love Shay Given. Do you know what I mean? Childhood hero. I had to go meet Shay Given. For me, the best goalkeeper Newcastle United have ever had. Arguably, one of the best the Premier League has ever had, with the amount of appearances, clean sheets, what you went on to win at Man City and stuff. And yeah, he's an absolute legend. Listen, I had goalkeeper jerseys with Given's name on the back. As a kid, I had posters in my room from the club matchday programmes in my room as well. So as a kid growing up, it was amazing. Looked up to Given, loved him, had the gloves and everything. Do you know what I mean? He's a legend. So doing that 7 years ago, paying to go to an event to meet him. Then to be fair, 2 years ago, I was on the overlap, sitting on the same sofa as him, with Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, talking about Newcastle United in that Carabao Cup final. So that was a mad pinching moment. But this one is even better. I'll be there 8th of August, hosting and interviewing Shay Given. Unreal crack, man. Can't wait for it. So if you want to join us, hit the ticket link in the description. If there's any left, to be fair, we'll put it out on social media last night, and they are flying. Because what I love about this local legends event with Colin, they've put it on, so shout out Colin for that and organising it all. They do them up and down the country. But what I love about it is it's an intimate setting. Do you know what I mean? You're in a nice pub there, the Coach and Horses. You're up close and personal to the action, to the entertainment. Hear Shay, you can meet him, get something signed off Shay Given, get a photo with him, shake those famous hands that saved so many goals from going in the Magpies net. And you can also get a pint and a pizza included in that ticket for just 20 quid. So it's an absolute steal. There's no wonder they're flying out those tickets. So like I say, the best thing about it's an intimate setting. You're up close and personal, and you can see and hear everything. Because some of these events, you know, you're in the back of a bloody theatre, you're in the back of a massive room, you can't hear or really see what's going on. You are there up close and personal. You get a chance to ask Shay questions as well. There will be a Q&A at the end of the night, so there's loads going on. All the information is on the link in the description. It's on the website there. Check it out. Come and join us for that great night with Toon legend Shay Given on Thursday the 8th of August. Right then, on to the transfer news, and the first one is Eddie Howe's comments on current number 9, Callum Wilson. So Wilson has been rumoured to leave Newcastle for a while now, to be fair. Even last summer, stayed. January, stayed. This summer, it's been talks of going to Saudi, talks of going to West Ham. However, Eddie Howe has reiterated the fact that he wants to keep the striker at all costs. Doesn't want him to leave, wants to keep a hold of him, even though he's in his final year of his current contract. So we know Wilson, right, in his 30s now, brilliant striker, but also brilliant in the treatment room. Injured a lot of the time. We know he's missed over half of his games at Newcastle in the few years he's been here. So that is the clear and obvious concern. And the issue at hand, why we have been saying for a while now, to get another striker. We're massively paid for it last year. Saying that, obviously, with the Champions League and higher demands and more games. But when Isak was out, Wilson was out, you know, vice versa. It was always a nightmare. They could never play together. They were never a viable option. Wilson he'd come on for 20 minutes, be out for 2 months. It's a huge, huge shame because I love Wilson. I think he's been brilliant for the club. He's been a great number 9. He's a tremendous finisher. But like I say, his injury record is awful. It really is. It's horrible. You know, you wonder, and he had some freak injuries last year, so you hope it would get better. But when you look at it and you think, my God, Wilson, he just cannot stay fit, man. You cannot rely on him. But what I will also suggest is that it will be better next year. Because one, like I said, we've got less games, less demand, 1 game a week. You can play him in the cup games maybe. You can rotate him for half an hour. Maybe start him against Everton away and then bring Isak in for Liverpool at home. You know, that type of thing could work. And we have obviously added James Bunce from Monaco to our backroom staff now. He is our performance director, the injury specialist, they call him. So he needs to focus on injuries, stop them from happening, improve our fitness and form. So there's a big plus. You hope he can get to work and get the help in the likes of Wilson, Willock and all these other players that are always injured, back up to scratch, back up to speed, and get them involved a lot more than they've been able to at Newcastle United so far. So that would be a huge plus. I think that could help. Obviously a bit more focus on that area, manage him better, and like I said, the workload will be less intense than last year on Wilson's body. That being said, and especially I've seen it on social media, there's a mixed bag on this. I would say it's 50-50, to be honest, on Wilson. Some people are saying good. I'm glad that he wants to keep him. Don't sell him, because you know how much would it cost to replace Wilson? If we get say 12 to 15 million for Callum Wilson, can we get someone in that's guaranteed Premier League goals for that value? Well, no, we can't really, can we? Keep hold of him because we can be utilised in that way. Other people are saying Eddie's loyalty is getting the best of him again. This could be his downfall. You can check all these comments on our social media, and I'm sure on Newcastle United's pages and that as well. You know, saying, oh, Eddie's, you know, he's too loyal to certain players, keeps them for too long. We've seen obviously Dummett and Richie finally leave this summer. Not maybe transforming the squad so much last season hurt us, so we didn't have that strength and depth off the bench. Obviously, it took ages to play Lewis Hall. Things like that is what people are debating online. So they're saying, you know, Wilson, he needs to go. Time's up. Been here for years, injured all the time, in his 30s now, 1 year left on his deal. What are we playing at? Time to shift him on, get someone else in. And I hear it. I hear both sides of the argument. To be honest, I don't really sit on the fence. So if I had to say it, I would say sell him as well. I would say sell Callum Wilson, move on, get someone younger, fresher in. But it depends what the budget's looking like. You know, because we know, and we'll talk about it in a minute, the focus is right wing, right centre-back. I want to go big on right wing. I want a marquee signing. I want big bucks on that player spent. You know what I mean? Excitement. That's what I want on that right wing. So how does that leave us going forward? Because we're hearing a lot of links to Jonathan David. His name's getting floated about a lot more in the recent weeks there. The young striker from Lille who can play across the front three. So I'd love to see him. I think he would be a perfect replacement. The tricky situation we've got is we can't really go out and buy, say, Ivan Toney for 50 million because he's not going to play because Isak's there. So it's hard to find the balance of someone who's going to be happy to be on the bench and fight for his place. So someone like a Jonathan David would work well because it's a younger player who's got something to prove and, you know, he might have a bit more patience. The good thing about Wilson is he's got to understand and he's got to acknowledge the fact now that he is getting older, that he is injured a lot, and that he can be brought in for certain moments where he's not going to start ahead of Isak. Or sometimes you can use them both together depending on the opposition, the tactics and whatnot. The ideal situation is, listen, I wouldn't sell Wilson and I would still get a Jonathan David to learn off them both. Because you should have at least 3 strikers at a club. If we're only going to go into the season again with 2 strikers, we're asking for bloody trouble again. Like we did last year. And then it's all going and play as the 9 and all that. No. Let's play the people in the right positions and get strength and depth. Because we will still suffer. Even if there's 1 game a week, you know for a fact Isak's probably going to miss a month or so here and there. Wilson's going to miss more than that. So if you're relying on them two, it's a bit of a sticky one again. Because for me, you need a 3rd choice striker. You really do. So if you're going to get someone in, like a Jonathan David, a young one in, or you're going to get someone older in, or someone who's happy to sit there, like I've mentioned, you know, Brereton Diaz before from Sheffield United. He was on loan there. He's an Ari option, bit of Premier League experience, can come on if needed of injuries. Just someone as a backup. You know, you don't want these players starting, obviously, but who will work with the team, understand that if Isak's injured, or Isak's took a knock, or Wilson isn't feeling it, you know, someone like that can come on for 10, 15 minutes. Someone like that can play in a cup game away to Yeovil. Do you know what I mean? That's fine. So we do need strength and depth, and that is an area of improvement. And I'm looking to see what we do this summer. But Eddie Howe is insistent he wants to keep Wilson. So I don't mind it in a sense where great goal scorer, and if he can stay fitter with James Bunce, with less games, then that's fine. But I still do think we need to be in the market for a striker, whether that's a cheap one, a one on loan, or a young one. Even with Wilson, if he stays or goes, we definitely need at least one striker. So let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. Eddie Howe is also wanting 2 players in by the end of this month. That's according to The Athletic. We are targeting a right winger and a right centre-back by the end of the month. It's the 18th of July today, so we haven't got long. So I hope these transfer meetings over there in Germany at Adidas HQ are getting going, because we need players in. Eddie Howe wants them to join them to that trip to Tokyo, the Japan pre-season tour. He wants those 2 new players in by then, and why not? Because that's what you want. You know, the whole point of going to Japan is to advertise ourselves, is to pick up new fans, is to grow the following, is all that stuff. So what you want there is a new shiny player, a new shiny toy. I mean, Sandro Tonali's doing that role at the minute. He's all over social media. The Newcastle United are loving it, playing him all the time, and it's great to see him back. But an actual new signing, not a Pardew like a new signing special, to get someone new in would be great. 1 or 2 for that Japan trip. Obviously, Lloyd Kelly's there as well, Ruddy, Odysseas, but we need that right winger. And the names that are being mentioned still by The Athletic: Jared Bowen, which is going to be very hard to get and very expensive, but I would absolutely love it. Probably more realistic ones that might not get you as excited is, you know, your Madueke's from Chelsea and your Anthony Elangas from Forest. Or probably somebody completely out the blue that I've never heard of, who Mitchell likes, and we're saying them from bloody Holland or Germany or something. Obviously, amongst Holland and Germany as well, you've had Kubo linked, you've had Xavi Simons linked, you know, there's been a lot linked. So we'll see where that goes. Right centre-back, obviously the big name that's keep popping up is Malik Thiaw from AC Milan, the German 22-year-old. I think we will sign him. I'll put my neck out on the line. I think Thiaw will sign for Newcastle someone. He will be our new defender. And the one for many years to partner Sven Botman. I fancy us to get Malik Thiaw. I think it'll cost about 30 million and we'll get the job done. You know, Thiaw is a top target, I believe, and I think he will be the one that we sign. It could happen before that trip to Japan. So keep your eyes on Thiaw from AC Milan. I know people are getting a bit nervous, thinking, oh, dealing with AC Milan again. Let's hope he hasn't got a Bet365 account. I know what you're saying, but however. Hopefully that was one off. We do our due diligence this time a bit more than Ashraf did last time out. But there's the 2 signings. Eddie Howe wants to bring in a right winger, a right centre-back in the next week or so before the month comes to an end and the lads jet off to Japan. Let me know in the comments who you would bring in, who we should sign before July. Then if you wanted to bring in a right winger, a right centre-back, name them in the comments. And remember, get yourselves along to the Coach and Horses wide open Thursday the 8th of August for a chance to see Shay Given live. The Toon Legend is back in Newcastle and I'll be hosting the event. Absolutely buzzing for it. Drop a subscribe on the channel if you haven't already, people. Give this one a like and I'll see you on the next one.